Today we're going to show you how to make 2 delicious turkey brines that we're going to be smoking later on the Yoder Wichita, so stick around.
Hey there, welcome back to Greenhorn Barbecue Beer. This is the channel that shows you delicious backyard barbecue recipes. We take you on barbecue crawls to some really interesting, fun places, and we provide you guys recipes for you to try out.
So I picked up 2 butterball bone-in turkey breasts, about 6 or 7 pounds a piece, and the brines that I prepared were an apple cider based brine and then a Cajun seasoned brine, which both are going to be equally delicious.
Nice and spicy on that Cajun.
Yeah, so it was like an 18-hour brine.
All right, so the day before we prepared the brine, and it's important that you brine it overnight, get enough time for all that brine to work its way into the turkey. And so what we did is we prepared 2 pots that were large enough to fit the turkey breast into. We filled them up with cold water, and then Sassy here did the seasoning for the different brines. My favorite was actually the Cajun seasoning, and you'll see that why at the end of the video. When we taste them and show you the texture and stuff like that. So after Sassy prepared the brines, then it was just a matter of putting the turkey breast all the way into them and topping them off with more water, or in the case of the apple cider juice,
Yeah.
You want to cover the entire turkey. That's very
Submerge
important.
your turkey in your brine.
And then we add, I think you added onions and some various other things to the cider.
Onions, bay leaves, orange peels, peppercorn, tricolor peppercorn. That's a huge plus.
So the full description and the recipe will be down in the description. And trust me, this was delicious. Take it from me. Watch to the end and you'll see why. So once we've got the brine fully submerged over both the turkey breasts, we went ahead and covered them up, and then you put them right back in the refrigerator. If you have a cooler with ice, you can do that as well. Now, it's important to use a lot of spices that are aromatics so that you get a lot of that nice flavor that absorbs overnight into the meat. And so we brined them for about 18 hours. And so the next day we went ahead and pulled them out, and
Gave them a bath.
Yeah, when you pull them out, wash off that brine. It's done its job, and now that brine is really just a waste product. Throw it away. There's really nothing left in there that you can use. So throw away your brine safely and responsibly. Then we want to rinse off that turkey, and this is a good time to do any trimming. And actually, Sassy removed the rib meat. She did an excellent job on that. And we had some really sharp kitchen shears. We'll leave a link to in the description where you can get some nice kitchen shears. So it's
Trada. What are they called? Torada. Kitchen shears.
So while all this is going on, I was preparing the Yoder Wichita offset smoker out in the backyard, and what we decided to use was some applewood. The applewood is a very light, sweet wood that is great with turkey. I also use cherry. The cherry will actually add a really nice color.
Like a mahogany kind of color.
Really, really nice color. So, but to heat up the Yoder, I actually used my charcoal basket first, and I didn't want to spend a lot of fuel from the wood heating up the Yoder.
Well, after we cleaned up our turkey breasts and patted it dry, you want to dry it up real good. I gave them both a little butter bath.
Yeah, the secret to good crispy skin is nice dry skin before you put it on the smoker.
Yeah, so I gave it a little butter bath, and that kind of it kind of coagulates and dries up really fast when you put it on the turkey. And then I put on the Cajun turkey, I put some more Cajun seasoning on that one. And then on the other turkey, I used that honey rub. What's it called, babe?
That's okay.
Money honey.
We'll flash it up here on the screen for you to look at. But it's
Anyway,
really
it's an
great
excellent rub, and I used it on the cider brine turkey, and it was really good.
Came out really
good.
So we got them turkeys seasoned up, and then we wanted to go up with the turkey low and slow. So I was shooting for 250 on the Yoder, and and I wanted to bring up the turkey really slow. Now, a lot of people will cook turkeys in their oven at 375 or even hotter. Really, this is just all about obtaining the right texture you're looking for, and I wanted low and slow.
So it was like between 225 and 250 for about 5 hours.
Yeah, at the beginning, we put them, Sassy here put them on pans on racks, and we put a little bit of apple cider in the bottom of each pan with some rosemary twigs.
With rosemary twigs and some chicken broth on the bottoms to keep that moisture coming up. And I actually baste them with honey and butter.
Yep, so we went ahead and put it on there, then we put more cherry and apple wood on there. Really important when you're smoking with a wood burning offset smoker is you want to make sure that that smoke is blue, nice and clear smoke. You don't want it real smoky, so if it's really smoky for you, you might want to leave your smoking chamber open for a while, let it clear out first. Then you want to get to the right temperature. Now, our Yoder smoker has a couple different zones, a little hotter and a little cooler, depending on what end you're on. Mm-hmm. So we rotated them twice. So make sure if you're cooking more than one turkey, or even just one turkey, rotate it, turn it once in a while, because you have heat coming from one end of your smoker and you're going to end up burning one end of your bird.
And I guess another thing too, another good helpful tip is you want to brine your turkey if you're going to cook it on the Yoder Wichita, because it's got coals and you've got wood in there, and so it's constant. It's a constant.
Yeah, the brine will definitely keep the turkey moist.
Yeah.
All right, so after a few bastings that we did, we basted it every couple hours. We kind of let there wasn't really much of a bark, it was more of a color, and we let that set up before we really got into basting. But we lost some of that seasoning anyway off the skin, but that's going to happen. That's okay. So after about 5 hours, we finally took it off, and that's a long time for turkey breast. But again, we were going low and slow. Mm-hmm. We wanted that brine to work and get a chance to really infuse that smoked flavor in there that's so good with that cherry and applewood.
It had a great smoke ring, both of them.
So we pulled it out and did a little taste comparison.
So my favorite was this apple cider brine. It just had, for some reason, it just had a different texture. I could even see it when I cut into it, even though both pieces of both breasts were just really super juicy and moist. I mean, they practically fell apart in your mouth. Yeah. But the consistency of the other one, it just the flavor was just
that could be really the apple
great.
Cider reacting with the protein a little differently than just the plain old Cajun seasoning. My favorite was the Cajun seasoning. It had a little bit more of a bite to it. The meat seemed a little bit darker on the outside. The skin had a little bit more crunch to it. I liked it more. Just to me, had a deeper, richer flavor profile, so it was really delicious.
Yeah, I basted both turkeys with the same sauce, so it was the butter and the honey, and then was basted in also with the juice, the drippings from underneath in the tray. So they came out excellent. Yep. I recommend both brines, but my favorite was the cider brine.
All right, so I think we have it. That's a tie. She liked the apple cider. I liked the Cajun seasoning.
Well, maybe we could do our next turkey and make a cider Cajun brine, huh?
So I liked them both. Yeah, combine them. Honestly, do what you like. The flavor profiles that you enjoy the most, put them in that brine. Even heat the brine up, little black belt trick. Heat up the brine in a half-level pot. Stir it up, and the heat of that boiling will actually release a lot of the oils and flavors that are in a lot of those things, such as peppercorn, orange peel, whatever you decide to use in there, and then have a bucket of ice waiting, and then just dump the bucket of ice into it to cool it back down again. If you do this, you're going to have a really strong brine for sure. I think we didn't have to do it because we already had some ingredients that made it strong, so we skipped that step. And plus, we were going an all-night, almost 24-hour brine. But if you're in a rush, go ahead, heat up that brine, and then cool it off with some ice, and you're going to release a lot more intense flavors, and you won't have to brine for quite as long as we did.
Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and come back and see us often for some more great, delicious meals.
And we want to hear what your recipes for brine and turkey are, so down in the comments, hit us up. Be sure to tap that bell so you don't miss a thing. See you later.